Now, Mr. Junaidi also, after saying ये तो religious है, ये तो Hindu, Nami says, no, we've never doubted the valor of our forces. This, this dirty game has been exposed.
Look, it's very clear. One, when the moment somebody shoots his mouth off and says something ridiculous, if it passes the muster, then they will say this is the party position. If there is a pushback against it, they will say it was a personal statement, but they'll continue to keep repeating it. One. Secondly, increasingly, Swati, and I hate to say this, I never thought anybody would say this about the Congress party. But I think if it were left to the Congress party, they would de-Hinduize India. They would be the, more than any foreign invader, I think the Congress party has taken it upon itself to have to completely wipe out the Hindu identity from this country. So anything Hindu triggers them, is like almost like they're allergic to anything Hindu. Thirdly, on national security, again, I hate to say this and I never imagined it would happen. Nobody ever thought that the Congress party would actually compromise on national security. But just look at what a person like Prithviraj Chauhan, who's supposedly, at least on paper, supposedly one of the better and more enlightened leaders of the Congress party. Now, when the kind of statement he has made, look, I can understand that, all militaries evaluate whether the force levels are adequate, they can be pruned down, they can be diverted somewhere, but that's not what he's saying. What he is saying is that we can virtually do away with the military. Now, why? Because we only had a technical kind of a warfare. Technology is more important than having people on ground. Now, let me give you an example. So, supposing this war had not lasted 4 days, supposing it had lasted 40 days, and while this exchange of fire was taking place, the Pakistanis sent troops into the Indian territory. Who would go and fight them? Congress Seva Dal.
Right.
It would be the Indian army, which would go and fight them. Not Congress Seva Dal. Congress Seva Dal does not exist anymore. None of these characters exist anymore. Right? So the point is, you have to have a standing army. You have to have a standing army because it carries out multiple operations, including holding operations, including offensive operations, including counter offenses. So for somebody of his stature, and then you have multiple borders on which you have to concentrate the army.
Absolutely.
It was mostly Pakistan, the Chinese border was quiet. Today we know almost 60 to 70,000 troops in just eastern Ladakh are in a face-off with the Chinese. You have other corps in the northeast facing off the Chinese. You have another Bangladesh problem. You have a problem in Myanmar. You have a problem with Pakistan, which has been there for the last 80 years. Now, who is going to decide the force levels of the army? Will it be some guy who just gets up and because he's got an idea, suddenly shoots his mouth off? Will he decide the force levels, or will professional...
how to use the forces, where to use them, when to use them, in which manner? Let the army decide that. And this statement is coming in from a party which says कि full operational freedom army को दे नहीं रही है सरकार.